Hello, 208 Lab. What I want to do today is try to give you some quick and dirty about doing the Squirrel Lab. And yeah, I'm hanging out in somebody's living room here somewhere in the world. But the Squirrel Lab is really pretty easy to do. You're going to read through all the pages of the lab. There's a lot of details in there, but it comes down to it. You need to get that data sheet at the end, and you're going to classify squirrel behavior. So you're going to go to where you can see some prairie dogs. And you can go anywhere around town where you can find prairie dogs, ask around, drive around. Usually out north of town in the desert, there are prairie dogs out there. And then you can take a pair of binoculars and you watch them, and you try to sneak up on them. Stay in your car. They like it better if you don't get out of your car. And then you can just watch. And what you're going to do is every 20 seconds for 5 minutes, you're going to write down the behavior or circle the type of behavior. So what you can do is just watch with your eyes. You can set up your phone to make an alarm go off every 20 seconds. And when the alarm goes off every 20 seconds, so basically on 0, 20, and 40, and then 0, 20, 40, 0, 20, 40, like that for 5 minutes. So at that instant moment, when it's at 0 or at 20, right, you look and see what it's doing. There's basically a few things. Let me check my list. The first thing, they're vigilant, which means they're up and looking around, right? That means they're looking around, they're vigilant. They're foraging, which means they're looking on the ground for something. And then there's a thing we have called alert feeding, which means they're up, like they're being forward, they're alert, but they're also eating something. So that's a special category, which is alert feeding. And then there's social behavior, which is jumping around, chasing each other, talking to each other, doing those things. So, and then there's other behavior, which is the one, a lot of times they bask in the sun. They just lay there. So if they're just laying there, that's considered an other, because they're not being particularly vigilant and they're not feeding. So there you go. So that's how you classify. If you want, you can watch a squirrel for a long time and collect a whole bunch of data on one. But in the end, you're probably just going to go ahead and use the master data plan that we have for you there, so that you can just use that squirrel data sheet to write your paper. But I highly recommend you go out and watch the squirrels, prairie dogs, so that you can get some experience on your own with it. Have fun.